and welcome to Inside SRSO. I'm Sergeant Richard Lloyd, Public Information Officer for the Santa Rosa County Sheriff's Office, and with me today I have Jacqueline Kovac, our Crime Prevention Coordinator, and Sheriff Bob Johnson. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. It's good to be back.
It's great to be back. So we took a little break from Blab, did a little reorganization, different set. I think it looks nice.
Yes.
Sheriff, what do you think?
Looks great.
Loving it.
And we are going to pretty much follow the same format. Couple little odds and ends, but want to welcome everybody back. We're glad to be here, and let's just get started. We got a ton of things to talk about.
We sure do.
So first off, our hot topics is, and really we can go back because 2018, Sheriff, was a very busy year for us.
It was a lot of calls for service.
A lot of
Very
cases.
busy.
And the first one, real quick, is Navarre Beach burglaries. We had a situation in Navarre Beach where there was some individuals that went in, broke into some homes, and specifically targeting television sets. And Sheriff, I heard like 16 TVs, surround sounds.
So far, like 4 or 5 houses were actually hit, but yeah, it's a lot of TVs.
And we got our detective diligently working on that. Hopefully we'll get some resolution to that. Takeaway to that is make sure you lock your homes, even if it is a rental. You want to lock everything that you got.
Yeah, lock your homes. You know, if you can add surveillance inside of your homes or outside of your homes, not even just for your protection, but it helps your neighbors as well in case there's a crime that happens, you know, down the road. You know, your camera system might capture something. So if you do live on Navarre Beach,
and I can't tell you how many times that has helped us, especially even in Jimmy Vaughn's shooting when he got in the shooting and had to unfortunately kill somebody. We saw the entire event unfold from a video camera or surveillance camera across the street. So you never know what it's going to catch, and they're good to have around.
Yeah, and I want to caution against, I know a lot of people have brought up the idea of having dummy cameras, and you know, as the Crime Prevention Coordinator, I really want to caution you against using dummy cameras. One, because they don't do anything for you. They are what they're called. They're dummies. You know, so if you're going to spend the money for some type of protection for you in your home, you know, just invest it into an actual camera that can record and save that video in case you or somebody near you really needs it. And
now the prices of them have gone way down, so you can get a really nice system for, you know, a couple $100.
Yeah.
Next is we had a case that we're still actively working on, which is a body that was found in a shallow grave in Jay, Florida. And our Major Crimes is currently still investigating that, and we also had the found body just a week prior to that in Jay that unfortunately was the missing woman from Escambia County, Alabama.
Yeah, that was a sad case.
It is extremely sad. Also, the Santa Rosa County Crime Stoppers has now enhanced a reward on a Milton homicide that occurred earlier. It was in November.
November, I believe, yep.
And it was a killing that took place off of Highway 87. And that's now up to $5,000. So if you have any information on that, I want you to contact Santa Rosa County Crime Stoppers, 437-STOP. And we'll get to the wanted fugitives, which, Sheriff, is
my favorite part.
Our favorite part. We'll get to that in our second or third segment. And then the next thing we want to talk about is canine zinc and copper. They've been on the news a lot lately.
They have. They got their first big bust, I guess it was a couple of weeks ago, but then something, I don't know if you've heard, they got another one day before yesterday.
Really?
So we've caught 2 felons since we've gotten them.
They're doing very well.
They're doing very good.
Great.
And they're the cutest dogs.
They are.
I mean,
they're cute to everybody but the criminals. The criminals don't seem to like them for some reason, but I think they're awesome.
I don't understand why.
I don't get it.
We're also working on a fundraiser for one of our deputies, Deputy Hubbard, who unfortunately has fallen very sick lately. Yes. And so, Sheriff, why don't you tell us about the drawing?
Yeah, we partnered with Gulf Coast Guns in Milton, and they donated a gun, and Trent's Prints in Pace donated the tickets. So every penny that we get off this gun raffle is going to go to Deputy Hubbard and his family, because right now they're displaced. The only place he can get treatment in the entire country is up in Washington, D.C. So they're displaced up there right now. His whole family's up there, and it's going to be 5 or 6 months. So we're doing a gun raffle, and it's for a FN 509 Tactical. I hope I said that correctly. And it's a very nice gun worth about $1,000. And we have tickets for sale, and there are 1 for $10 or 3 for $20. And every single penny we get is going to go to Hubbard and his family.
That is awesome. And we want to thank those community-minded business leaders for stepping up to the plate. And Sheriff, where do we get tickets?
You can get tickets by several different locations. We have them at the district offices in Navarre, Pace, Milton, and Gulf Breeze, and also come to the main office. We've got a ton of tickets there. If you go to the front desk and tell them why you're there, we'll get some tickets out to you.
And we have, we're lucky enough to get a video of Deputy Hubbard.
Yeah.
So let's just take a quick minute and watch that.
Hey everyone, I was asked to give an update on just how I'm doing and how we're coping with things and how my family's doing. Overall I'm doing all right. There's some days where, you know, I'm kind of tired and don't feel like doing much. You know, don't really have an appetite. But overall, I'm able to get out of the house. I'm able to move around. I'm able to, you know, do normal things. I start my treatment at Johns Hopkins on January 8th. I'll be doing a clinical trial of immunotherapy. Uses your immune system to fight the cancer rather than chemotherapy. So just hoping for a better overall quality of life for the next 6-7 months while I'm receiving treatment rather than being sick and stuck in bed. We're coping with life, you know, in Maryland. It's definitely not what we expected, but overall we're making it work. You know, we're staying very positive, you know, watching my son grow and just hopefully soon be walking. And overall, we're just really appreciative of the amount of support that we've received from back home. To be honest, it wasn't expected. So we're really blown away. And we would just like to say thank you, and we hope everyone had a good holiday and has a good New Year.
I'll tell you, it's a very brave individual, so best luck to you, Deputy Hubbard. So we're going to go to a quick commercial break, but before we do, we want to talk about CLIA, the Citizens Law Enforcement Academy. We're starting that back up, applications in the spring, and Sheriff, our open house is April 20th.
Yes, it is. A lot of fun, a lot of neat things you can see. The canines, you get to play with zinc and copper and tour the jail and all kinds of fun stuff, so definitely come out for that.
And we'll be right back. Are we here?
Because you guys busted me stealing from cars.
So how were you getting into these cars?
It's easy, man. I just open the doors.
What do you mean, just open the doors?
Most of the cars I get into are left unlocked.
What are you looking for when you get into these cars?
Cell phones, wallets, guns, purses with money, and even sunglasses. You'd be surprised what people leave in their vehicles. If people would just lock their cars. If people would just lock their cars.
And welcome back. We want to remind you to make sure you lock your vehicle. That's Santa Rosa County's #1 crime, and 99% of our burglaries last year were all to unlocked vehicles. It's amazing.
It is. It is. And nowadays with the, you know, the key fobs and things, it takes you like a quarter of a second to lock your car. So.
And even some of the newer ones, you can just keep it in your pocket, walk away, and it'll lock it for you.
Yeah.
So the excuse of I forgot to is not good enough anymore.
So next up, we have Deputy Raymond Spencer. This was unusual.
This was a great story.
36 years in law enforcement. This is a first right here. I've never heard of this happening before. So
Deputy Spencer conducted a DUI and made an arrest, and the individual that was arrested sent him flowers and balloons to the office.
And a nice little card saying thank you for saving my life and possibly somebody else's. And, you know, to Deputy Spencer, he does a lot of DUIs. I don't know how many he gets a year, but it is a lot. He really is a good DUI enforcement officer. So to him, he was surprised by it, but we were too. I mean, I've never heard of it happening. So.
Yeah. But I think it's great to show that, you know, there are people out there that, you know, it only takes that one time to get caught and they learn their lesson. But, you know, unfortunately, we see the other side of it too, where we see people not learning their lesson. So, I mean, kudos to this woman for realizing what could have happened.
You know, speaking of DUI, Sheriff, this was just in on my ride up. Over the holiday, we had 3 DUIs. That's it.
That's it.
That is a
Nice.
very low number, and
It
one
is.
of them was in. There was one in Pace, one in Navarre, and one in Gulf Breeze. So that was.
Maybe people are listening.
Wish we had 0,
real
but
thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that too, that goes, I mean, I would hope to give credit to the DUI taxi that we had down in the Navarre area, just ahead of the holiday, just to let people know, like, this is not something that you want to do, you know, not just because of, you know, being arrested, but the costs it's associated with it
Right.
as well, you know, what you lose and what you have to pay.
You know, and the monetary cost is one thing, but the loss of life in America from DUI drivers every year is just staggering. So that's the main thing. That's the main reason we want DUIs to go down to 0 in Santa Rosa County. That'd be great.
Absolutely.
And across the country.
Yeah. Yeah.
One of the things that Sheriff Johnson did this year, give you some kudos here, sir, is the holiday community outreach. We really didn't do a lot of, we didn't draw a lot of attention to it, because what we did is we had a lot of community-minded business leaders make donations to the Santa Rosa County Sheriff's Office in the form of gift cards, gift certificates, discounts, and what we did is we gave them out to the deputies, and the deputies during their routine patrol during the Christmas season.
Right.
And if they would come across somebody that was really in need, they had something to give to them. So I want to thank the following businesses that were just absolutely tremendous in funding this and giving us the ability to do this. First, for the citizens of Santa Rosa.
Oh, yeah.
But secondly, it was kind of cool for the deputies to
It is.
act
It's
like
kinda-
Santa Claus.
Yeah, they're like Santa Claus. And, you know, usually when we get called out someplace and we're dealing with people, it's always something, you know, bad. But this is this shows a different side of law enforcement, and it was great. It
And I
worked
know
out
our
really good.
deputies love doing
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
for the good of the community.
Yeah, they loved it.
Puts a smile on the face of the kids and the families they're helping, but even
Sure
the
does.
deputies themselves.
Yeah.
So we want to thank Moe's over in Pace. Texas Roadhouse gave us a ton of
Bunch
gift
of 'em.
certificates. Yeah. Stripes Grill over in Navarre. Copper Bowl, which is over in Navarre and Gulf Breeze. Jersey Mike's, Pace in Navarre, and the McDonald's in Gulf Breeze. So thank you, really, you know,
Yes.
from the bottom of our hearts. You know, we really appreciate you giving us this gift, and make sure you guys go visit them. They got some pretty good food at those places.
They do.
Yes.
And next up, we have a donation that was done over to Bay County. This was an amazing case as well. It was an amazing story. You know, obviously, we know the devastation that occurred over in Bay County, and we had one of our deputies, Deputy D'Souza, that made a contact over there and was pretty much told, hey, you know, we have a huge need during this Christmas season.
Right.
And, you know, sometimes it's really cool who you know. Well, he has some insides to an individual
does.
that works at Stripes in Navarre, and Stripes Grill took this and ran.
They did.
You know, and I may have the numbers mistaken, but it was close to 800 children that received Christmas gifts in that devastated area. And we're going to show some pictures of what it was like, what we did, and all the fundraising that took place, all the toys that went to the children.
Right, and Deputy D'Souza, the reason he was aware of what was going on in Panama City so closely is he deployed with one of our teams. We sent 3 teams, 1 to Washington County and 2 to Bay County for the hurricane. So they took over patrol duties, but they got to see firsthand the devastation. And I went over there a few days as well, and the devastation was just unbelievable. And all these kids lost their houses, and unfortunately some of them even lost relatives. I mean, it was just, the damage was unbelievable. So this was a little way to help them out, and Stripes just, that restaurant in Navarre is just, they're so community oriented, they're awesome.
Absolutely, can't agree more. Every time I go in there, and they always got smiles on their
Oh, yeah.
faces. And
Great business.
When I went on New Year's Eve, there was a citizen from Bay County that went to that place to patronize that store,
Yeah.
or the business, and then thanked him and came over to us and thanked us while we were there.
Nice.
He
That's
says,
awesome.
thank you for everything that Stripes did. So that was awesome.
Yeah,
It's really great.
Patrol request. Sheriff, this is one of the great things that we do.
we do. We do. If you go out of town and you decide you're going to go on vacation or whatever, you can call us and we will take a vested interest in watching your house while you're gone. So all the shifts get the patrol request, and they drive by at different times, and they'll check your house, and if anything suspicious comes up, you leave your contact information and we can contact you, and hopefully nothing bad will happen to your house while you're gone.
That was
Which is
really
always
cool.
good.
Yeah.
And the way you start that is just go to your local district office, and there's a form you fill out. some details in there, contact number, and we'll go out and check it out for you. And I used to do a lot of them. And
Me too.
It was great.
We've even had people email us when they need it and their address and everything like that. So you can email it to us through our website, santarosasheriff.org, and or you can call our non-emergency line 983-1190.
Right.
So next up, my favorite part of the show is our Ask the Sheriff segment, and we got the sheriff here, and we had a question
in the hot seat.
I wasn't expecting a test today.
So we had a question that came in utilizing our Facebook, and that question, Sheriff, is what are your major accomplishments within the first part of your term as sheriff?
Well, I think as of today, I'm at the 2-year mark. Today.
Is it today?
Today.
Congratulations.
I think so. So yeah, the 2 year
2 years
mark.
down, many more to go.
2 years down, yes. Okay, so, I've done a lot of things, but, when I say it's not really just me. The officers make me look so good, but one of the things that I'm kind of proud of is with the county commission, I have to go in front of them with a budget and budget request. And for the last 2 years in a row, we've gotten a 10% raise for the deputies, because prior to that, they didn't get a lot of raises. But now the county's doing a little better financially, so the county commission has given us 20% in 2 years. And for the first time since the 90s, we have a waiting list to get hired in Santa Rosa County, which is saying something. Before, somebody come in, put in an application, and we'd hire them, and now we get to pick and choose who we hire, and we're getting a lot of applications from other agencies that want to come here and work in Santa Rosa County now. So I think that's the thing I'm most proud of, is getting, more people to want to work here. And I think that's not just me, they see how professional our organization is, and the next thing you know, they want to work here. And I think for the first time in I don't know how many years, our jail staff is completely filled, and our road staff, I think we have about 5 openings on the road, which out of 220 something deputies on the road, that's pretty good.
It's really good.
Phenomenal.
And why wouldn't you want to work here? I mean,
I know.
It's paradise.
I'm in right now I'm in year 26, and from the day I got hired, I didn't want to work anywhere else. I love this place. So.
What's the saying? Live and work where others vacation.
That's it.
That's pretty awesome.
It is. It's pretty nice.
Sheriff, I want to thank you for all the stuff you've done for the guys. It's pretty awesome to be able to work in a location where, well, you sometimes got to listen to the radio, because if you're on a traffic stop, he may get out, or he'll try to compete against traffic stops. I think I have more than you do this month, sir.
I don't think you do.
We'll check next show.
We'll have to look and see. We'll give you an
I feel
update
like I
next
should
show.
not be in the center now.
We'll give you an update on that. But no, I still like getting out, and I'll work an evening shift as often as I can, and I still like answering calls and writing reports. I think it's important to stay up on current trends, and plus the guys and gals get to see me out there, and it's funny because at night they'll start asking me questions, because they don't get to see me like most admin people do. So I'll be on a traffic stop, and somebody will pull up to back me up, and they'll be, hey, can I ask you a question? And so it's kind of cool.
Well, and he thanked you for the deputies and law enforcement that you oversee, but I want to thank you for the civilians that work for us, because you've done amazing things for us. I know there's new positions that you've gotten for the civilians inside the agency as well, and
Well, thank you for that, and a lot of it goes back to the county commission. The county commission has been very amenable to all my requests, and so right now we're in a very good spot, and hopefully it'll continue in the future.
All right. Well, hey, let's go to our commercial break, and we got some more stuff. We'll wrap up the show, and thanks for tuning in. We'll see you in a bit.
Why are we here?
Because you guys busted me stealing from cars.
So how are you getting into these cars?
It's easy, man. I just open the doors.
What do you mean you just open the doors?
Most of the cars I get into are left unlocked.
What are you looking for when you get into these cars?
Cell phones, wallets, guns, purses with money, and even sunglasses. You'd be surprised what people leave in their vehicles. If people would just lock their cars. If people would just lock their cars.
And welcome back. Our favorite part of the show, the wanted fugitives. So let's just get started, and we'll show you the photos on the screen, and if you recognize them, what you want to do is call 437-STOP. Santa Rosa County Crime Stoppers, or P3 Tips is an app that we're using now. And You'll be eligible for up to $3,000. So,
and you get to stay totally anonymous. So most of these people that we have on the list aren't nice people anyway, so who cares if they get mad at you? But they will never know who you are. That's a guarantee. We never know who calls in.
No.
Yeah, the call center's in Canada.
Yeah.
So we have no clue who calls in about this. So let's get started.
well, start off, sure.
Sure. First one, Peter Daniel Halloran is wanted by Santa Rosa County Sheriff's Office for sex offender violation. He's a white male, 61 years old, gray hair and blue eyes.
All right, next up is Stephen Don Ray. He's facing several charges, including armed burglary, larceny, grand theft of a firearm, larceny, grand theft damage, criminal mischief. He's a white male, 41 years old. Stephen is 6 foot tall and 185 pounds with brown hair and brown eyes.
And next up is going to be Quinitha Michelle Blackman, and she's wanted for an order revoking bond retail theft. Quinitha is a black female, 29 years of age. She's approximately 5'7", 250 pounds, and has black hair and brown eyes.
Mark Segala is wanted for sex offender violation. He is a white male, 58 years old, approximately 5'6", 150 pounds. He's bald and has blue eyes.
Next, we have Joshua James Strickland. He's wanted for probation violation. He's also a registered sex offender who has absconded. Strickland is a white male. He's 32 years old. He's approximately 6 foot tall and weighs around 180 pounds. He has brown hair and green eyes.
And lastly is Travis John Fury. He's wanted for aggravated battery, cause bodily harm or disability, domestic violence. And Travis is a white male, 28 years of age, about 5'9", 190 pounds, and has brown hair and hazel eyes. So if you have any information in reference to any of these individuals, where they're at, where we can find them, call Crime Stoppers, 437-STOP. And Sheriff, I gave you the easy names this time.
You did. That usually doesn't work out that way.
So next part
is the Sheriff's Office updates.
Sheriff's Office updates. So, school resource officers. Sheriff, that was one of the big things for you this year. And it was mandated from the state.
It was.
And tell us about what you did and how it worked out.
Well, you know, one of my campaign promises was I was going to try to get all the middle schools filled by the end of my first term. And that's 8 schools. Well, in my first 2 years, I've hired 25 resource officers.
Wow.
So now all the schools in the county are covered except for, I believe, 5 are left. And we're actively hiring for those positions as well. And hopefully by the end of this school year, or by very latest, the start of next school year, we will have every single school will have a deputy, and the high schools will have 2 deputies. So it's going really fast, but we're almost filled up, and hopefully it'll be over this summer.
And what are we doing with the schools that don't have permanent SROs?
Well, we have an off-duty detail, so the school board pays their salary while they're in the school. So every school's covered every day, and if somebody calls in sick, we, from admin, will fill in. I've had majors work in schools. I'm not above it. I used to be a resource officer. I'll go work in school. It doesn't matter to me. But every single day in Santa Rosa County, every single school has an armed deputy sheriff in it, and I'm very proud of that. So
it's a pretty amazing
feat.
feat.
Having those guys
oh, they
there.
do.
Yeah,
they really do.
And we got some
girls.
really good SROs.
We do.
Very good.
We've been stealing from other agencies, so poaching is what we call it.
No. They come to work for one of the greatest agencies in the state of Florida. So, you know.
Oh, I agree with that. But
next up is our Speak Out update. So this year, for the first time, we've implemented the Speak Out program, which is anonymous, similar to Crime Stoppers, but it's strictly for schools, no rewards. They're doing it for the right thing. So the children in schools, if they have any information, they could also remain anonymous.
Right.
Use the tip, the phone number, the app. I mean, there's so many ways to get in contact with us. And our numbers are just amazing. We've done everything from threats to the schools. We've received, the amazing thing was suicides. You know, we've had to deal with that on several occasions, and we've brought resolution to all of them, thank goodness. But so you know that your kids do have this available to them, and it's called Santa Rosa Speak Out. And all the schools, it's listed on the website. So if you have any questions on that, it's all out there. The other thing I want to talk about was promotions.
yeah, we had to do some promotions. Basically, since we've hired so many resource officers, they fall under special ops. And so that division has grown a lot. So in order to have proper supervision, I had to do some promotions. So I promoted Captain Bringmans to Major, who's over special ops. Major Tucker took the place of a Joe McCurdy, who I promoted to Chief Deputy when Spencer retired. And then Captain Earlman is the captain over patrol. And last but not least, Captain Welch is in special ops as well. So a lot of promotions.
And these are some great guys. I mean, each one of them has very special talents and extremely intelligent. And I'm proud to work alongside with them every day. And lastly, is we do have job openings, like the sheriff mentioned. If you're interested, go to our website, santarosasheriff.org. Top right corner, there's a career section. We have a new recruiting video that you can watch on there. And I think that's about it. Anything else, Sheriff?
Well, the only thing is we don't have any openings in the jail for jail staff. Well, we almost don't have any openings for prisoners because it's kind of getting full. But we still have law enforcement openings and we still have dispatch openings. So feel free to put in an application. We'd love to have you. It's a great organization.
We need dispatchers. We need somebody to be able to answer that phone whenever you call.
They're the first responders. So we definitely need them, without a doubt.
Well, Sheriff, thanks for coming out.
Oh, thank you for having me.
And we'll have you more often.
Okay.
And Jacqueline, thanks again.
No problem.
And that's about it. So glad to be back on Blab.
Yeah, glad to be back. And remember, call us if you need us. We'll be there for you.
And we'll see you next time. Take care.